This is Mo, the Gnostic warrior, the founder of the Order of the Gnostics, and this is my latest talk on how to use the magic of your will to get everything you want in your life. And when I say that, it doesn't mean that you could basically think in your head and whatever you think about, you can get in your life. That's pretty much BS. About using the magic of the will, I'm talking about using the magic of your soul. To use that as the catalyst, as the energy to create things in the world that you wish to transpire, that you wish to. This all deals with having Hey guys, sorry, I'm having some disconnection issues here with my Wi-Fi. Anyways, back to what I was talking about in regards to the will. You know, this will that we have inside of us, it's one of the most powerful forces that there is in the universe. And I know this might seem, you know, unbelievable to some of you out there, but it is, again, some of the most powerful energy, everything in the universe. It's within us that we could use to create things on the without. And what I'm talking about, you know, an example of this could be, you know, between the physician, between the doctor and his patient. And we're actually seeing the bad effects of this in our current world right now. And this deals with, you know, the doctors that are seeing their patients for maybe a couple minutes, and they're not really putting their soul and their heart into their work. And the patients are understanding this. And a lot of these medicines and these things that they're doing to try to help these people, they're doing just like by motion, just like mechanical. There's no will, there's no heart being put into their work. So when they come into these offices and they're sick and they're hurting and they see a doctor who they obviously know is very busy, who's running around and, you know, doing a bunch of things, seeing 100 patients in a day, the patient feels this, and they see this. They see that the doctor, even though they might be nice and, you know, they're kind of taking care of him for a minute, there's no heart being put into the work. And this isn't really consciously said by the patient or anybody right now, but this is exactly what's happening. And, you know, the patient leaves the office from the doctor and they feel like, you know, they weren't really taken care of. The doctor really didn't listen to them and what was wrong with them and so forth. And I've experienced this in my life with myself and then also my children. And where I'm getting at is that the will of the physician is essentially absent from that interaction between two humans. And this is where the magic comes in. And so there's no magic happening there between the patient and the physician. So the patient doesn't believe in the physician. The physician doesn't even go that far. He's just doing the routine mechanical thing, so there's no heart being put into his work. He doesn't have time, or she doesn't have time to put their will, which I believe is your spirit, your body, and your heart into everything that you do. And this is where the magic of life comes in. This is where the magic of creating things is basically occurs. It occurs when you align your soul with your body and your heart in everything that you do. Everything that you do, you own it. All right? You just don't do things to do things. You do things because there's an intent behind them. And this was where the magic of the will comes in. And, you know, a perfect example, I'm going to give you guys some other examples between the doctor, you know, the physician and the patient, but also just the interactions that we have with ourselves. Here's an example that I have done before, and some of you may have done. It's, I want to start working out again. I need to get in shape. These little interactions, these voices, these words that you have with yourself, those internal conversations. Oh, I need to get in shape. Oh, I want to work out. Oh, I might work out tomorrow. I might do this. Just your words are defeating you, because there is no intention, there's no confidence behind your words, there's no will. And this is where words are so powerful, guys. And even the words that we speak to ourselves, and even our thoughts when we don't say those words. So when I talk about words, keep in mind, it's not always the spoken word. It's the word that we think about in our head. It's the conversations that we have every single day with ourselves. Those are words as well, and they're powerful. And they could make us, or they could break us. Those thoughts, those words that we have. So back to the workout example. I was having some issues where, I'm gonna work out tomorrow. I would say, oh, I think I'm gonna work out tomorrow, maybe around 3 or so. And I kept doing this, and I found out nothing was ever getting done. I would work out here and there, I would get things done. But when I started changing how I talk to myself, that made all the difference. Simple word tweaks in my conversations, whether it's with myself or with other people, started to make all the difference. So instead of saying I might, I think, when I really wanted to do something, and I know I did, I started to say I will. I will do it. And this is the first part of magic that you guys all need to understand. It all starts with the will to do. Okay, so the will to do good or the will to do bad, it all starts with the will. And that then leads to actions. So once we start willing ourselves and we start telling ourselves we will make this happen, I will work out, I will go to the gym tomorrow, I will read more. When we start doing this, we start aligning our soul with our body and then with our heart. And then the next crucial step is to do. Okay? Inertia, sitting there, procrastination, those are all things that will defeat your will. And that's why it's important that when you say I will, you do. And this is the next phase in magic that is also the most important. It's a matter of action. So the idea of the will is to have a will, an internal will to do something on the without. Okay, this could be, as I had mentioned with my example before with the physician and the patient. Okay, so the proper relationship between the patient and the physician, it should deal with one of the heart, where they connect, where they look at each other in the eyes. There's a mutual respect. That doctor is not thinking about anything else. He's not thinking about the next patient. He's not thinking about the patient before. He's not thinking about, I have 50 other people to see. This guy's crazy. I don't know what he's talking about. He has another ailment and disease that I'm not going to cure, and I'm just going to give him another pill, and he's going to go off on his way, and this is just another number in the system. Take a number. Those type of relationships between physician and patient fail. And we could see that in our world today with all the diseases that are not being cured, the people that are dying. Dying from your physician is the third leading cause of death in the world right now. And I think it might even be more. So that tells you that our system is broken. And I believe it all comes down to exactly what I'm talking about today, on top of course, the cure is a poison. So, in any event, Your will is everything. And this is something that I've done in my life recently, by transpiring different events that have helped me, have helped my family, have helped my son. Some of you guys know me. Again, my name is Mo, the Gnostic warrior, the founder of the Order of the Gnostics. Over the past couple of years, my son got really sick, and it was from a house that we were renting, and there was mold there, pretty bad. And if any of you guys know about mold, it's pretty nasty, and I believe it's one of the major causes, on top of the physician issue, of all the diseases and the deaths in the world. In any event, me going to the doctor, to several doctors for my son, and they wouldn't diagnose him. They would literally spend 3 minutes with my son, 2 minutes, sometimes even 1 minute, guys. And my son was literally wasting away on the table in front of me, and I was seeking help. And I would get doctors that were literally, they didn't even care. They would come into the office, they would maybe spend a minute looking at the chart, talking to us. They would ask us a couple questions, and then they would literally throw their hands up in the air and say, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with your son. It's not this, it's not that, it's nothing in my book, it's nothing in this computer. I'm sorry, I think he's gonna be like this the rest of his life. And I would say, you literally spent 2 to 3 minutes with us, and you're making a diagnosis, and you're not looking further into this, and you're basically condemning my son to death, condemning my son to being paralyzed and to being maimed the rest of his life, just with 2 minutes of your time. And they weren't even putting their heart or even looking at my son. I knew something was fucking wrong when I was seeing this, but I didn't really get it at the time. I wasn't really putting 2 and 2 together, because at the time I just wanted to save my son's life. I didn't understand the magic, the black magic that was happening here, that they were putting on my son just by the nature of their actions and having no will and no heart in their work. They were literally killing my son. These fucking doctors who think they're doing good are actually doing more harm than they are good, even though they think they're doing good. I know this sounds kind of weird to some of you. Thanks for the thumbs ups and the hearts, and I think a lot of you get it out there. You know, I know a lot of the people that follow Gnostic Warrior, they understand. And I try to, put it in more modern terms and just, speak from my heart. But really, that's what was happening. These people were operating from their minds, from their paychecks. My son was just another number. My son was just another paycheck. My son, to them, was just a carcass. He wasn't a soul. He wasn't a light. He wasn't somebody they cared about. It was somebody that was just another number. And that is the problem with our whole world today. And that's the main issue with magic, is you got to operate from the will of the heart. Your heart is everything. And when we use that will, it is one of the most powerful things in all of the universe. Us humans are so powerful. We could cure diseases. We could make things that destroy things. We're powerful beings. And back to the story of my son. What ended up happening is I went to about 15 different doctors. And I was looking outside of myself and outside of my son for help. And I wasn't getting it anywhere. And I was feeling defeated. I was feeling so depressed. My son was sick. He was dying. I literally cried every night, guys, for months on end. I was so depressed. And that's kind of what happened with Gnostic Warrior the last couple of years, is I was going strong, and then when my son got sick, it really put things on hold for me and the Gnostic Warrior and my path and so forth. So my energy, my will, everything went into my son. But the problem was that I was looking outside of us for help. I was looking for shamans and physicians, and I was only finding black magicians. I was looking for people who had cared and loved us, and all I found was people who thought we were a number and they could make money off of us and not cure us. All they wanted was our money. They didn't care about anything. but that. And that's why we have this major problem here in the West. I think all over the world, we have a bunch of physicians that are black magicians that are doing it just for money. They're not putting their will, their heart into their work. They're not putting their soul. They're not connecting one-on-one with their patients. And this is causing people to die, to get sick, the patient to lose confidence. You know, this confidence, this will is everything. And if you don't have that, you have doubt, you don't know, this inertia. This causes us to fail the human body, the system, and our society. And we're seeing that everywhere right now. So back to the story of my son, you know, what I ended up doing is I kept seeing this, and I just knew that it had to be me. I knew intuitively that I was going to be the one that saved my son. That I and my son were going to do it together, because no one knew my son like me. No one loved my son like me. No one would die for my son like me. And so instead of being a fraidy little scaredy cat looking outside of me every day and being in fear and going, oh, my son's going to be sick, and oh, I don't know what's going to happen. And I see this with a lot of people who do get sick and do have problems, is they get in this state of fear, the state of inertia, the state of unknowing. They lack their confidence. Everything has been taken away from them. And what this does is it's a domino effect to disaster. And I was doing the same thing, guys. Sorry for all the noise. I'm walking through a parking lot here. This is kind of my morning routine to get to the gym, but it should get quiet here in a second. But in any event, I recognized this after several months of doing this and not getting results with my son. You know, I was reading some of my occult books, Lephus Levi, and it started talking about the will and how that is everything in magic. It's everything in human operation. The confidence and will of the Magi is everything in a magical operation, guys. And get this, every physician-patient interaction is a magical operation. Okay, magic is the simple idea of using the will and the soul to create on the without, or to make causes and effects on the without using the human will. So almost everything we do is a magical operation. Most people don't understand that, but especially between the physician and the patient. So I ended up reading this book, and a light bulb went off on top of my head. I knew that I was jacked up, I was screwed up. Everything that I was doing to help my son was wrong, and I did it for about a year, and he was getting worse and worse and worse. And I had no one to blame but myself, and also this world. But that's what I did. I stopped blaming everybody else. I stopped looking elsewhere for help. And what I ended up doing is I took it inside and I said, I'm gonna make this happen. I am going to cure my son. I will find a cure for my son. I will make him stop hurting. That one sentence I said multiple times on different things had changed everything. Literally, guys, within weeks, I noticed results. From those simple changes, they started in my head. I will find a cure. I will help my son. I will make this happen. And that literally changed a magical operation in my soul, in my very being that day when I did that. And from then on, his healing just took a whole new level during that time. And I found solutions. Things started getting basically put in my lap that I never knew before, that were things that could help my son. And I started doing things that he would see changes, and he could see the difference in me when I would look at him. Instead of being afraid and crying and, I don't know, son, I don't know what we're gonna do, I said, I will, son. You will get better. This is going to help you. There was no doubt in my mind. My confidence level had went up 100-fold, and everything else in our life, in his life, started going forward, and he started getting better just by changing my thoughts, by changing my words, by changing my will, by changing everything and aligning myself, my soul with my body and my heart. It changed everything. And within a month, I found different things that would help him, like hyperbaric oxygen therapy, simple oxygen. I found herbs that would help him, things like grapefruit seed extract. I found people that began coming to me through Facebook that were doctors, and they were like on the down low, that were natural healing doctors, a chiropractor in North Carolina, people that I had really never knew or never really met came out of the woodwork to help me, all by changing my thoughts, by changing my will, by changing my heart. And guys, this is everything. We can basically change everything around us by our will and using this magic. And it's got to align, again, your soul with your body, with your heart, and then also your thoughts, your words, your actions. Those all got to align with one another to make the magic happen. So getting ready to work out here. It's Sunday, beautiful day here in Fallbrook, California. Blessings to everybody. Thank you, Bridget, everybody, Elaine, Josh. I appreciate you guys joining in on the conversation. Watching here on this beautiful Sunday in Southern California. I know there's everybody all around the world. Thank you for the likes. And again, understand that magic isn't as hard as everybody makes it to seem. You know, you have a lot of these guys out there that are marketing. I don't know if you've ever heard, all marketers are liars. So you got a lot of people selling a bunch of magic bullshit, and you don't need to buy a course to figure things out. Yeah, Brandon, see, that's the doctors out there, as I had mentioned, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's why our system's broke. We have people that are basically walking around that are the walking dead. I've talked about this before. The ancients, when they talk about the walking dead, these are people that just kind of, they go around and just kind of do the things they need to do, but they're not really operating from their soul and their heart. They're kind of like human shells. And that's when we walk around in the world today. There's a lot of great people, you know, and a lot of people that mean well, but a lot of them are human shells because they haven't connected to their souls. They haven't connected with their heart. They're just kind of doing the motions. You know, sure, they might have some of the same desires and needs as we all do, but we're operating from two different vantage points in life. One is a higher point, the higher standpoint from the spirit, from the soul, from the light, which we connect to, and we make one. And then the other people out there are kind of just, they're disfranchised, they're disfragmented from that soul, from that heart. They might get little glimpses of it where they connect, but it's very rare that they do. And you know, that's the problem with our world today, and it kind of trains you to be that way, you know, through school and through everything. So thank you, Shaw, for the kind words. You know, I'm glad that some of you are liking these live sessions. They're a little nerve-wracking to do. I'm not used to being in front of the camera and the video and doing these. And once I just started doing them, I said, you know, I'm just going to do it. I will do it tomorrow. I'm going to start just talking from my heart, pick a subject, and they've been turning out well. You know, and I've been real busy lately with work and family. I've got 3 children, got 2 jobs that I'm working right now, and it's kind of hard to do the Gnostic Warrior, the Order of the Gnostics, but doing my best to get some information to you guys. So I appreciate the support. Remember the magic of the will. That is everything and you do in life. Everything. Everything from the smallest of things to the biggest of things. It is all with the will. And when you align your soul with your body, with your heart, and then also with your thoughts and your speech, in the beginning there was the Word. That's the Word of God. The Word is what creates everything on the without. So when you doubt yourself, when you think bad thoughts, when you think certain things, you create those things in your life. So you got to get those out of your head. Even though they may be true when things are happening, you need to create the world you want in here. Okay, even though today might be bad, we're going through rough times, stormy seas, there is sunny skies on the horizon, and you need to point your ship that way, and you need to go, I am getting there. I will get to sunny skies. I will get to calm waters. And it's that simple. You know, that simple tweak in the thought and the words that you say make everything. Or you could say, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it out of this storm. Geez, man, I don't know, I hate this. It screws up my life every single time, and why does this always happen to me in my boat? It's gonna sink and I'm never gonna make it to shore. And if you say that, that's what happens. You stay there, you know, in this frantic thing, and your ship might go down. You don't know what's gonna happen day to day. But if you determine in your will, in your heart, in your soul, in your body, I will make it to calm waters, I will make it to sunny skies, guess what happens? You will make that happen. Just like if you have an ailment right now and you're sick right now and you're having thoughts, you know, and these are warranted. You're not feeling well, your body hurts, things happen, and all these different things are happening in your life, and you're thinking, why does this always happen to me? Man, I hurt my body, I'm never gonna get healed, no one could help me, I don't think I'm gonna make it, I think I might die, oh, the pain is so unbearable. And guess what happens? All that stuff happens, everything. And what ends up happening? You might die. You end up dying sometimes when you keep thinking like that every single day. Until you take the power back in yourself. Until you take that power back and you start understanding that you have the power to change the way you feel by your thoughts first, and then getting the knowledge to learn what is ailing you, and then using that knowledge and using it to apply to your life, practicosos, to make it a habit, to change habits, to put good habits in. All this stuff is within us. It's not without us. So just remember that we all have the magic within us, and you can heal yourself. You can cure yourself. You can change your life. And I'm a perfect example of that. I've been through the gutter, guys. I've been sick. I've been a drug addict. I've dropped out of school. I didn't go to college, but yet I'm able to get jobs when I say I will get a job. I will create this website and do this venture. And every time I do that, I make it happen. Literally within days, I will get a job. I apply for a job. I'm going to get this job. I send love to the manager. I send love to the owner. I love them. I hope they love me and they see the value in me and my heart and my soul. I don't think I'm not going to get the job. Oh, my past. I have this going against me, this going against me. Sure, those thoughts will sometimes come in my head, but I immediately relinquish them. And I recognize that those thoughts are going to destroy my chances. So those thoughts are so powerful, and they're everything. And I feel that you can influence the world around you just by changing those thoughts. And I did that recently myself, guys, with I needed a job. I ended up getting a house here in Southern California that I really couldn't afford, and I didn't know how I was going to pay the bills after a couple months. And the reason I got this house is it was in a great location. My soul could operate and be happy there. I didn't have to worry about my kids, you know, being in a bad area, and it ended up working out great. I ended up getting the house, and within a little less than 2 months, I ended up getting 2 job offers. One job offer came in via Facebook from a friend, a follower of Gnostic Warrior, just out of the blue. Hey buddy, you need a job. Gave me a great job, benefits, everything. And another job was from a friend of mine who offered me a job that I knew before. I was just talking, and out of the blue, hey, you need a job. Guys, keep in mind, these are good jobs, good paying jobs, benefits, everything. And I didn't graduate high school nor college. And all my experiences is things that I've just done in the world and the work that I've done here. And people have seen that, and they know my heart, and they know my will, and they know the magic that I can create via those 3 things. So it's really a great thing, guys. We're powerful people. We could cure. We could make people sick. We could kill ourselves just with our thoughts. So just never forget that, guys. I'm gonna answer a couple questions here. I'm getting ready. Here's my gym back here. This is Paradise Fitness in Fallbrook, California. These are the big tires. Do these once in a while back there. It's cool here. They got bags and different things that we could use and work out. So usually I'll walk here in the morning before the day starts, get a little sun, and then I go to work out, get my workout on, and feel good, you know, because I do a lot of computer work, and you know, we're not moving as much as we used to in the past, so it's important that we keep moving. I'm gonna go ahead and try to answer a couple of these questions. Hey, thank you, Brandon. Glad you understand. Brenda, everybody sharing. Love you guys. Gina. Hey, thank you. Gino. Sorry, I need glasses. After, I'm 46 actually, guys. I just turned 46 yesterday. It was my soul day when I came into this new incarnation. 2017, turned 46. I feel sometimes like I'm 35, and then when my thoughts aren't aligned with my heart, I feel like I'm 50, you know? So just by changing my thoughts and changing some of my habits, I feel like I'm younger and I could do much, you know? I could do a lot more than a lot of people out there. So anyways, here's any questions or anything that I could answer for you. I think most of these here are just people saying thank you and everything. I appreciate it, guys. Love you. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the gym right now, but remember, magic, the will, everything is within you. You can create everything you want, or you could destroy everything you want, including your health, the health of your family and everything, or you could change it. And remember, it all starts with the will. Start with the thoughts on what you're gonna do. Say, I will do it. I am. I can. I know. I might. I don't know. Get that out of your vocabulary, guys, and then put into the practicosos the things that will change your life, and you will change it. And I'm a living example of that. And I'll talk more about this magic because I think it's a huge part of everything that we do in life every day. So again, this is Mo, the Gnostic warrior, founder of the Order of the Gnostics. Going into the gym right now, gonna get my little weights, my pump on. Try to stay young, 46 years old. I want to live to be nice and old and healthy. I don't want to be an old, decrepit old man and barely get around and rely on other people. I want to take care of this body, this vehicle that is the vehicle for my soul. I'm a Gnostic. Yes, I don't hate my body. I love my body. This is what I use to get around. This is what I use to surf. This is what I use to help house my soul, my spirit, everything. So this BS that Gnostics hate their body is just a bunch of bullshit. And I'll talk more about that in the future, because a lot of the things that we learned from the Gnostics came from their detractors, from their enemies. It was all propaganda. So a lot of the things that people talk about today is propaganda. And then they're just keep spewing it all, and like they're talking about Gnosticism and the history of Gnostics when they're talking about the propaganda by the victors out there. All right, guys? So in any event, love you guys. Peace. Have a great day. Be a Gnostic. Use Gnosis to make your life better. Practic Gnosos. And use that to have a good prognosis in your life, guys. Peace. Take care. Bye.